Get that out of the way.
Welcome back to the Retro Wave. I am your host, El Tiburon, aka RetroTiburon, and this month we're talking SNES games. Feels like Mario month. So, what better thing to discuss than Super Nintendo? But let me introduce my guest first, a returning guest, a man of 1,004 voices, Johnny O from the Double Axe Handle Smash podcast. What's going on, man?
How you doing, everybody? Double Axe Handle Smash podcast is still going, but still paused right now due to the death of my co-host, Metal Ed. So I don't know what I'm doing yet, but pretty soon I'll have thanks to El Tiburon, have a next episode coming out maybe next week or the week after with special guest Tito Santana.
Hell yeah.
Wow.
Arriba.
Excellent.
And special
Ole.
co-host El Tiburon.
Yeah, that
Oh,
was
excellent. Oh, heck yeah.
a dream of mine. I felt like I had to pinch myself after that Johnny O having me on the podcast.
Wow.
Johnny O and the
Tito.
late great Metal Ed having me on the
Uh,
podcast to interview one of
yeah.
my idols, Tito Santana. Old
Arriba.
Chico.
Yeah, Chico Santana.
Yeah.
And that who you hear there is the man that remains undefeated, at least for now. The real Native American Tatanka. The professor, Tylord Stevenson. What's going on, Tylord?
Just happy to be here again. Glad you invited me on the show, and I'm happy to be here with you and Johnny and Omega Ace. Cool to hang out with three buddies and talk about some Super Nintendo.
And last but not least, first time on the Retro Wave podcast, a guy that I recently hung out with Tylord up in NorCal. Had some food, went to a nice little fancy restaurant with a lot of eye candy. Wink, wink. Hold on. I think I need this button for that. A little eye candy there. My buddy Jose from the Omega Ace Gaming channel. What's up, man?
What's up, everybody? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, why don't you tell, since this is your first time on the podcast, why don't you tell the people a little bit about you, like what you do on YouTube?
Sure. I'm primarily a retro game streamer. I tend to gravitate more towards 80s and 90s games. I'll dabble with 2000s or at times I do dabble with retro inspired games like indie titles. My favorite game console of all time is the NES. I have a small but growing library for that console. And I'm always trying to think of new projects for the channel. I always try to change it up, do something different. If you haven't checked me out, I'm on YouTube. You can look me up by putting in at Omega Ace Gaming, all one word. I stream on Tuesdays and Fridays. That's the gist of it, really. I dabble with videos from time to time, thinking of maybe incorporating top 10s and stuff like that, but I haven't mustered up the courage to do so.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, thanks for joining. And I'm gonna put links for all these guys on, if you're watching on YouTube, I'll put it in the description, links to their channels, social medias, and if you're listening on the audio podcast, I'll put it in the show notes of the episode. So that's where you can find the links. But guys, we're talking Super Nintendo, so we're gonna be ranking. I don't know if I told you guys, but we're gonna do top 3 because whenever I've done a top 5 with 4 people on the episode, I think I went 4 hours and we went 4 hours and something. Tylord was on that episode.
Mhm.
We went like 4 hours and I want to let you guys get some sleep too. So
Yeah, I'm on the East Coast, so in Connecticut. So
yeah, we want Johnny to get some sleep at least.
It's almost midnight over here.
So we're gonna rank our top 3 Super Nintendo games. But before we get started, I wanted to go around and ask you guys. I'll start with Tylord. Do you remember when you first got your Super Nintendo?
No, I still remember that. Yes, I had to sell my Nintendo and all like 20 of my games to pay for half of it. If I remember.
We were just talking about that Omega.
Yeah.
Right.
I
We were talking
remember,
about
but
that.
I wanted it bad for a couple of reasons that we'll mention here later. I wanted it bad though. I kind of regret selling all those my Nintendo into my wonderful little collection at the time. But like I said, I wanted it so bad for a couple of games, but eventually, I ended up getting all those other games back after
Right.
they went down in price. Yeah, when I got older and I had a job or what.
I was just talking about that with Omega before we hit the
Yeah,
record button. How we had to, well, you had to like sell stuff unless you were like balling. Your
yes.
parents were balling. You
Oh
had to
yeah,
sell stuff to get the new stuff. So, Omega, do
yeah.
you remember like when you got your Super Nintendo? You tell us like how you got it or the
Yeah, yeah,
circumstances.
yes. I was in high school. It was my freshman year. There was a guy there. He was trying to part with his Super Nintendo. He had a SNES with about 4 or 5 games, a few of which I barely remember. I think it was it was Jurassic Park. It was Mega Man X, the Twisted Tales of Spike McFang, which is a really odd one now. And I
Mm.
couldn't tell you what the fourth game was, but you know how it is. You work part time flipping burgers, and then you starve yourself a couple weeks. You can afford, you pony up the money and you get the console. So I've had it ever since.
Excellent.
Very cool. What about you, Johnny O? Tell us about your memories of getting your Super Nintendo.
I don't remember exactly how I got it. I remember going. I remember I had a friend, a neighbor. You always have that neighbor that's gonna be. They always get the thing first, and everything. So everyone goes to their house, and you kind of see what they're doing. And he's playing the Zelda, the new Link to the Past, and he's playing Mario World. And you go over there, and all the kids in the neighborhood are all over this house because he's got a Super Nintendo and nobody else does. So that's gonna be my story a little bit later on, but I'll go into more detail, but I don't remember the first time, like when how I got it. I think it was like kind of like this group called Olympia Sales, where you had to sell a whole bunch of stuff out of a catalog, and you get enough points, and then you could basically get a Super Nintendo or whatever. So I didn't pay for it; I just had to sell a whole bunch of stuff. And then eventually I ended up getting another one later on because my uncle, who was at the time was in his like 50s, had it because he liked this Bassmaster game. So he gave me his Super Nintendo too. So I had two of them for a while. But do you know how much the Super Nintendo was when it first came out?
What
Anybody?
was it?
I
It
don't
was a
remember.
cup. It was like 250 or something.
Was it that much?
I think so. Yeah. It was at least
250 back then.
it was at least $200. I know because, like I said, when it first came out, I sold my Nintendo and all these games at a yard sale for $100, which I thought I got a lot out of it at the time because they weren't worth that much. But then I remember like my parents helped me out with the other half. I remember it was like it was 200 at least. I know later on it went down to like 150, and I just remember it was pretty darn expensive when it first came out.
Yeah, with inflation, what is that now? Like the price of a PS5 or
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
probably about
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I don't have a story because I was a Team Sega guy. I never had a Super Nintendo
Mhm.
growing up.
Oh wow.
I don't even know why the hell I'm doing this episode, but I'm gonna just be moderating and letting you guys talk. The only time I ever had a Super Nintendo was my brother-in-law wanted to borrow, I think, my Sega Genesis. So we did a swap like for a week. Like
Hmm.
and I'm not gonna lie, there was times where I was like, man, I was a Nintendo hater back then because I was a Sega guy, but I was like, man, this Donkey Kong's pretty cool, but I don't want to
Yeah.
admit it because I'm a Sega guy. I was jealous of some of the games, not gonna lie. All right. So, before we go to our list, as always, we got to pay the sponsor. So, we're going to take a quick commercial break and come right back.
When you decide decide to step up to this kind of power, this kind of challenge, this kind of flying, crashing feeling, when you decide to get serious, there's only one place to come: the games of Super Nintendo. No one else creates this kind of experience, because no one else creates these kinds of games. Now you're playing with power, superpower.
All right, guys. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna rank our top 3 favorite SNES games. We're gonna go from number 3 to number 1. So we're gonna start actually with Johnny O. So yeah, I'm gonna play first a little trailer of his game, and then we'll let Johnny O let us know why that's his number 3 pick.
And this is Cowabunga. This is Cowabunga. And this is Cowabunga. But the turtles for your 16-bit system are Cowabunga! Holy cow, it's Turtles in Time! The cool arcade game for Super NES. Now it's tasty turtle duels. And psych up your Sega Genesis with the Hyper Stealth Heist and all new 3D turtle graph. So remember, this is Cowabunga. But the turtles for Super NES and Sega Genesis are
Cowabunga, dude.
So at number 3, Johnny O, you've got TMNT Turtles in Time. Tell us why this is your number 3 pick.
Well, I actually never owned the game. I never owned the game until later on in my kind of a collector's years. But I ended up having my other neighbor who ended up having it. He let me borrow it like all the time, so I'd get it from his house and play it, and then he'd want it back, so I'd give it back, and then I ask for it again and keep getting it. But the Ninja Turtles were such a big icon, like childhood thing for me. I mean, they were my favorite thing at the time, toys and everything like that. After He-Man and G.I. Joe, I mean, Ninja Turtles were there.
Oh, heck yeah.
But the game came out in September 1991, and I just have a few notes that I kind of made. And Raphael was my favorite turtle, and it's the one I was always. And Krang was always my favorite villain, and I always was. In the Ninja Turtle games, you always fought Shredder and Krang multiple times for some reason, and I always wondered what's the next iteration of Krang and what's he going to do. And I don't know, for some reason I was obsessed with him. And there was let's see, yeah. So anyway, Ninja Turtles. Sorry, I didn't mean to. I was kind of looking at my notes here, but I was just a big fan of the Turtles, and I thought that did anyone else play the Turtles? Any of you guys?
Oh yeah,
For
Yeah,
sure.
absolutely. Yeah.
They slightly. I'm sorry.
I mostly played it at the arcade. I didn't actually have the Super Nintendo one, but it looked fantastic.
How about you, Omega? You a
Yeah.
fan of this one, Turtles in Time?
Oh, big time. Yeah, it was during my high school days, actually. It's a freshman year, high school. After school, one of my buddies would come over. He'd bring a Super Nintendo cartridge with him. We'd pop it into that system that I just bought, and dude, we'd kill hours there.
Oh, heck yeah.
I feel like that was one of the first games that actually looked like the arcade. Because
Yeah.
remember, like the ones on the NES, like that were arcade games that were ported to the Nintendo.
Yeah.
And you kind of think, Tylord, you brought it up one time, like you kind of like try to believe, like, oh yeah, it looks like the arcade, but it doesn't really.
Yeah,
This
well,
one actually looked like it.
Yeah. Exactly. No, go ahead.
No, it came out in 91 at the arcade, and then 92 it came out for the SNES.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it had some additions, didn't it, on the Super Nintendo, or was it the exact same, like of board by board?
What they did something with it was kind of like similar to Hyperstone Heist for Sega Genesis.
Oh, I love that one.
And they added some levels, and they kind of revamped some of the levels, and then the Turtles for the regular NES, the Turtles arcade game, that was very popular. And that was still a game that I was sought after for all my life until recently I got it. And
excellent. Yeah.
not the actual hard copy. I actually have a friend who kind of Metal Ed, my friend Metal Ed, he actually,
Oh.
before he passed away, he kind of did something to my Wii U and made it into where I can get any game ever.
Oh, excellent,
So,
excellent.
I don't know if I should be telling anybody this, but
Yeah,
but yeah, then the Manhattan Project.
FBI knocking on your door right now.
Yeah, the Ninja Turtles 3, the
that one's
Manhattan Project came out, and then this one was a sequel to kind of that. So
yeah.
Mhm.
I liked how they kept the continuity on the Nintendo consoles. Like there's 1, 2, 3, 4.
Mhm.
yeah, and then after that,
Excuse me.
those Tournament Fighters.
Yeah, I actually love that game.
And I didn't like it. I
Oh,
was
you
so
like it?
disappointed. I was disappointed with
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I probably expected like because accustomed to the beat 'em ups, but being a Street Fighter fan, that Turtles in Time like was right up or that Tournament Fighters was right up my alley.
Man,
I'm disappointed Krang wasn't in it.
Oh, that was the thing about that. It
I was
didn't
like,
have a
who's this
lot.
Karai girl?
Yeah, it had all these other guys I never heard of. That was the only thing about that. It was just like a bunch of new characters and not a lot of the ones we know.
Hey, by the way, fuck that wingnut character.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, screw it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My
Fuck him
friend,
with a steel dildo. Yeah.
my friend
Yeah,
Killer
yeah.
Rules Francisco would always. We were playing it on the Kawabunga collection.
Yeah.
He was like whooping me with that guy. You can't do anything against that
Yeah,
guy.
screw that guy. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. All right. Well, very cool. I'm more of a Hyperstone Heist guy, but it's just my
Yeah.
the Sega bias.
I like Hyperstone Heist because it's the easiest one. Like that's the one I can beat without like cheat codes or anything.
All right. Well, that was Johnny O's number 3. We're gonna usually this is the first time I'm not gonna go last. I always go last, but this time I'm gonna go next.
Okay.
So let's go to my pick now. Couldn't find a trailer for this game because it's so. I think it's not regarded as one of the best Super Nintendo games. You know what this is, Tylord?
It sounded no. I was at first I thought it was Clay Fighter. And I'm like, what the heck? But no.
It's actually my number.
It sounds familiar. I know I've heard that before, but
My number 3, I've got Natsume Championship Wrestling.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so like I said, I didn't play a whole lot of the Super Nintendo, but I played the hell out of Natsume. I remember I think when my brother-in-law lent it to me, I think one of my buddies had Natsume and I borrowed it and fell in love with it. It has like the mechanics of what's it called? Fire Pro.
Yeah.
So, like similar mechanics. It's not licensed, so you don't get, Hulk Hogan or Bret Hart.
It's the engine we wish the WWF games had.
Yeah, like it's actually a better wrestling game, but
yeah.
But yeah, it had like guys like Viper and like Stan Henson lookalike guy and a Dick Murdoch looking guy, but it was like just a great wrestling game. I love that one.
Yeah.
But there's actually the Japan got the better version. I just realized that last year because I have a Raspberry Pi. And I found like the Natsume, but for Japan.
Yeah.
And they actually got like the Patriot,
and
Stan Henson.
They had the actual wrestlers.
Yeah, they had like Johnny Ace, and you could
Johnny Ace. Yeah,
you could actually hit the Ace Crusher and all that. So I kind of feel like we got gypped, but either way, I had to. I'm a wrestling fan, so I'm gonna put a wrestling game on there.
Nice.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah.
All right. So next, I'm gonna go to Omega's number 3 pick.
Y tienes un título estrella, Super Castlevania 4. Aquí tienes un título estrella, Super Castlevania 4. Entra a un nuevo mundo. Super Castlevania 4 de Super Nintendo ha ganado en Estados Unidos el primer premio a la mejor aventura y a la mejor música. ¡Vaya juego!
I just like that I found a Spanish trailer for Super. That was Super Castlevania 4. Omega, tell us about this pick.
Got my little visual aid right here for you guys. This is Super Castlevania 4. This is actually the copy that my cousin gave me back in the day. So the first Castlevania game I ever played was actually Circle of the Moon for the Game Boy Advance. And then right after that, I played Symphony of the Night for the PlayStation 1. So going forward, I assumed every Castlevania was going to be like that. It was going to be like an exploration map thing, you know? And then when I was hanging out in Mexico and talking to one of my cousins, he said, "Oh, my Super Nintendo broke, but I have a Castlevania game for the Super Nintendo. Do you want it?" I said, "Oh, heck yeah, I want it." And I popped it in, and it just blew my mind. I said, "Hold on, this is not anything like the first two that I've ever played. This is a more linear one. This is a platformer." And then from there, my love for the series just blew up. I went and collected every single game in the series after that, and so this one here still has a special place in my heart because my cousin Miguel gave me this cartridge, and I still play it from time to time. It's got a really jazzy soundtrack. The eight directions you can whip. You can jump and whip in all three directions, downwards, upwards. You can even whip the chain around. It's a very good entry level point for anybody that wants to get into Castlevania, because I would argue that this is one of the easier titles as well. Great game overall. Konami knocked it out of the park. The music's fantastic.
I'm still waiting for Konami to bring it back and make another one.
Yeah. They're saying that there's a alleged rumors that they're working on a new one. So fingers crossed.
You beat it though, right? I know those games are pretty hard, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on a crazy journey on my YouTube channel to beat every single Castlevania without dying, and so far I've done that with 17 titles.
Damn.
So
I still can't beat 1 and 2, but I can beat Symphony of the Night like a bazillion times.
Yeah.
I love Symphony. Yeah, this one.
Yeah.
This is actually a really slow paced game though. So like you're like an hour and a half in, you die, and if you're trying to do it without dying, it's like, oh man, Simon moves kind of slow in this one.
Yeah.
If you can look past the pace of the game, I think it's a really good one.
I think that was the one thing that always turned me off to the level or stage by stage Castlevanias, when it was so slow. It was so slow paced. I feel like Ninja Gaiden's tough, but you can slash through that really fast. Like you can get through the stages and the boards very fast. But Castlevania is very similar to that, but a lot slower. I think that's why I could never handle those. I didn't have the patience for them. But that game you're talking about, like visually and the sound too was so amazing. That was like one of the when you heard that playing on the Super Nintendo, like, wow, the sound on the Super Nintendo is so fantastic. The stuff it's able to put out, that music on there.
Oh, those crazy Belmonts in the game, they always walk like they're going through muck or something. They're so slow walking. It's like, what the hell?
That's why I liked old Alucard. He kind of moved more like Ninja Gaiden. Yeah. He didn't have a whip, and he would slash out kind of like Ninja Gaiden.
True. My camera kind of froze on me here, Tiburon. I can try to close it and reopen it like I did last time if you want.
Yeah, whatever works. But
thank goodness for it's not a live thing. Here, let me.
Yeah.
I just thought you were really focused.
let me hit.
Okay, he left. Okay, there you go.
There you go. Okay.
There we go.
Sorry about that.
That's cool. Technical difficulties.
Yeah.
all day.
All day.
All right. So that was your number 3 pick. I've never played that, but I have played Castlevania Bloodlines on the Sega Genesis. All right, we're gonna go to Tylord's number 3 pick now.
Okay.
Mega Shock Neo Geo.いくつもの伝説が生まれ、そして消えてゆく。狼は眠らない。画廊伝説スペシャル。
Couldn't find an American trailer for it, but that was a Fatal Fury special.
Wow, man, that
Tylord's number 3.
Yeah, that trailer sounds fantastic. I wish I would have seen it.
It looked really cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was always to come to think of it, I haven't really beaten a lot of Super Nintendo games. Back in the day, the games I had were mostly fighting games and wrestling games because I was like into wrestling and martial arts mostly. So I mostly played those games, and they're pretty short and they don't take that long to beat. So I would just play them over and over and over. And so Street Fighter, of course, I love. But then this other game, my buddy and I were at the Pizza Hut, and we saw this game, Fatal Fury 2, and we go, man, this looks fantastic on Neo Geo. So naturally, then they came up with the beefier version of it, which is Fatal Fury Special. Fatal Fury Special is just like the Champion Edition of Fatal Fury 2, if you didn't know. And it got ported to Super Nintendo. And I remember my dad, I saved up money for like a year to get it, and my dad went and picked it up for me at Toys R Us. And I remember like people complain about how games are expensive now. Like they went from 50 to 60. I think they're 70 now, but I remember like it cost like $80 for this game back then, like when it was new at Toys R Us. It was one of the bigger cartridges, like it was 34 mega power or 32 or 24 or something. But really hyped to get that. Just like loving wrestling so much with all the silly characters and all the one-on-one combat and like martial art movies from the 90s. Like Fatal Fury just like was right up my alley. Had all kinds of cool like different martial artists from different countries all fighting in a tournament, just like movies I like Bloodsport or Enter the Dragon type thing. But the Super Nintendo, of course, is not as strong as the Neo Geo. Like we were talking about with Turtles and all that, like they kind of get dumbed down for the console version. The Super Nintendo handled it pretty darn well though, and it actually like added some stuff that I enjoyed, like the music on Super Nintendo. I actually kind of like it more, and there's a couple exclusive tracks to the Super Nintendo version. I was going to ask you to look for this, but it's called the Axel Hawk track. It's like a United States track, like a boxer in a ring. And the track in that one is so freaking amazing. There's like a slappy bass on like, it doesn't sound like, it's called Axel Hawk on Fatal Fury Special. But just like that, the way the Super Nintendo can do this stuff, like it's nothing like Genesis sounds cool and strong and like that computery sound, but that bass on that song's like it sounds like a real freaking bass on that song.
Is this one, right?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, wait till you hear the bass. Wait.
It sounds like Brock Lesnar.
No. That's Fatal Fury 2. No, look for the. That's what I'm saying. That's the Genesis. That's the Neo Geo version. Look for the Super Nintendo one.
Oh, the actual SNES. So
that
one sounded too clean. This one?
Yeah, no, that one was good too, but it's like a totally different song on the SNES. Anyway, but a lot of the songs they add different segments to the song. It's just totally different. And then there's a code you can be Rio.
This one?
Oh yeah. You'll hear that bass. Yeah.
I'll just play this in the background while.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I don't know, but a lot of those SNK tracks, I really love them, and they did the same thing with Art Fighting. They had their own unique tracks for a couple of ones I really liked. Anyway, but yeah, I just love the characters, and one of them, I remember what turned me on most to Fatal Fury Special was there was a guy that looks like Vader, a big wrestler. He looks exactly like Vader. He's the guy I would always choose. His name's Big Bear.
I was about to say that. I remember a guy, a big ass dude that looked like Vader in that game.
Yeah, he took up the whole screen, and he had like a power bomb and a drop kick, and he had like a lariat, like a sacrificing, or like he'd fall down with this lariat. It looked really cool. And
who made the game? Do you know what company?
It was the SNK made it for Neo Geo, and then it was ported to Super Nintendo by Takara in 1994.
Yeah, you have any
Yeah.
thoughts on this one, Johnny O? You ever play this one?
No, I never played it. No, I was actually gonna. When he was describing the guy that looks like Vader, I was actually gonna say in the honorable mentions later the game Saturday Night Slam Masters,
Oh yeah,
It's greater time.
great.
and the guy looked just like I mean, they're all ripoffs, but I think they're
Yeah.
better than what the WWE games were.
Yeah, heck yeah.
But we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You like some fighting games, right, Omega? You ever play this
Yeah.
one?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have it in a compilation somewhere. That was something I got really into for like during the PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 3 era. Was just old compilations of SNK fighters or what have you. So I'm sure I played that one at some point in time. I don't think I played the SNES version though. I think the one that was included in the collection was probably the arcade. version.
Yeah, that's the most superior version, but okay.
Yeah,
Oh.
I love Street Fighter too, but I think a lot of the other fighting games, because everybody was coming out with their own fighting game,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
a lot of them I couldn't like play, like Art of Fighting. I could never figure out how to play that.
Mhm.
Like other games, but Fatal Fury was always fun, and I like that you could
Yeah.
jump in the background.
Yeah, that's what I was
and then
gonna
come
say. It
out.
had
Was
the
nice.
two planes of fighting. That's the only thing that made it different from Street Fighter. Everything else is pretty much exactly like Street Fighter,
Mhm.
but you could jump from plane to plane. Like there was two planes of fighting, and it was actually I think the first Fatal Fury was developed by the guy that developed Street Fighter 1. So they're kind of like it's kind of like a cousin franchise.
Yeah. Interesting.
I think even Terry Bogard, the guy the head honcho or the big protagonist of Fatal Fury, was actually originally developed to be a Street Fighter character by that
Oh,
guy.
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
And then it comes full circle with these like SNK versus Street Fighter games.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
really cool.
Yeah.
All right, so that was Tylord's number 3 pick. We're gonna go to Johnny O's number 2 favorite SNES game.
Introducing the epic challenge that only a Super Nintendo Entertainment System could make possible. Across endless land and water, you search. Deep into a parallel world where light becomes dark, you search. And just when you think your search has ended, you find it's just begun. The new Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past. Now you're playing with power and superpower.
And number 2, Johnny O, you've got The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past.
Yeah, do you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
cool.
there you go.
Yeah,
Omega A
Excellent.
showing it off. He agrees with the
Excellent.
pick, I think.
Excellent.
I lost
There you
you for a few minutes. I'm sorry for a minute.
That's all right. So, tell us about your number 2 pick.
Yes, Zelda. Okay, so this is the game that like my neighbor basically would taunt everybody with because he had this game and I never played because I never had an NES, so I didn't know about Link, except for like what Captain N, the Game Master cartoon show.
Yeah.
So and the Super Mario Brothers show every Friday,
Yeah.
So I didn't know much about Zelda or whatever, but then looking at the guy playing this game, this kid playing this game with the treasure chest and the keys, and you can't go in this door without a key, and all this stuff, and the reward you get when you get the big chest and you get the new weapon where you can do different things in the game. And I mean, I think this Zelda game is the best, and I've played almost every single Zelda game. I think this is the best Zelda game of all time. I think this is number 1. I think this is better than Breath of the Wild, everything.
Wow.
So, I like the top-down view. I wish they would continue doing stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, a little history of the game. I mean, it took 3 years for them to make it, and it came out in Japan in 91. It was actually called Triforce of the Gods in Japan, and it had a whole bunch of different god and priest references in it, so they had to kind of change it for American audiences.
Yeah.
So and then it came out in 92 in USA, and I don't know. I mean, have you played it? Everybody, I'm sure all of you played it.
Omega's a Zelda guy. Do you agree with what he said about this being the best Zelda game?
Oh, you're asking me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
is the number
man.
one Zelda game?
My number one Zelda game is kind of a black sheep of the series. It's Zelda 2.
Really?
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
not surprised you say that.
Oh, I hated it.
But I do have a funny story about the Super Nintendo Zelda. I had an older cousin who was just crazy about that game, and he was stuck in his ways. He wouldn't play anything other than the Super Nintendo games, and that was one of the games that he always played. And when the Game Boy Advance came out and they released a port of the Super Nintendo game, I tried to show him that when he wouldn't really pay attention to me because I was younger than him. That's just this personality type, I suppose. And I said, no, check this out. And he said, no, I'm not interested. I don't care about that new crap, he said. And then when he realized, I said, okay. And then I turned it on. And then when he heard that little tune, that little opening tune, his eyes just, and he realized, he said, holy crap, is that a Super Nintendo game on a handheld device? And he took it away from me and he played it for the rest of the day.
El Tiburon, can you put on the beginning of the game? Can you put on the sound from
intro?
that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
the
right.
intro.
You guys keep talking while I look for that.
It was it's amazing. It's the most. My wife. I mean, I was just watching some videos on it to get some information on it, and because I can't remember shit, and professional wrestling fucked me up. But what happened was, just that little tone, and it just.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Like a symbol flashing.
Yeah, just the music. It's just that's great. I mean, they don't even have that today,
Did you guys just get HARD right now?
Yeah. I had to spell it.
Noise. That's what my cousin heard, and his eyes just beeline straight to the Game Boy Advance. He said, "Hold on, that can't be possible. A Super Nintendo game on a handheld device,
Yeah.
Did you ever play A Link Between Worlds, a sequel?
Oh, it's awesome. Yeah. On the 3DS, right? That's a really good game.
They should port that to Switch.
They should. Yeah, they could polish it up a little, make it a
I don't know.
remaster.
I don't know how much more your copyright will allow you to play that.
That's all right. I'm so under the radar that they don't pay attention to me. What about you, Tyler?
Nintendo's going and suing somebody for leaking something about the Zelda game coming out soon.
Oh, really?
Some person that does the digging in the files and stuff released something, and now they're suing them, shutting them down. So
that's crazy. What about you, Tylord? Any thoughts on this being the best Zelda game ever?
I hate to admit this. I'm gonna have to turn in my gamer card, but I've never played this.
What?
Really?
That being said, like Legend of Zelda 1 for NES and Ocarina of Time are like in my top 10 favorite games of all time. I don't know. It's just like I never set aside time to play this, and now I want to like set aside a special time to play it, and that time never comes around. But
you got to do it. You got to do it, and then your first time, what you should do, you should stream it. So your first time is everybody's knowing is your first time.
I should do that because I know it'll be something that I'll just get engrossed in and be obsessed with. As like with Ocarina of Time, when I first played that, it was like, man, this is like a life-changing experience. Like I had no idea a video game could be like this, and that's just how it was with the original one. Like when you first played that after playing Donkey Kong and Pac-Man, and then you play Zelda, it's like, wow, this is nothing like this is like leagues, like exponentially more epic, bigger than anything I've ever played before. And I'm sure from what I understand, the Super Nintendo one's the same way, like compared to everything else at the time. So
I only ever played this like for 15 minutes, and all I did was hit the chickens, like chase the chickens around.
Now if you hit the chickens, they come after your ass.
Oh yeah.
They do?
Yeah.
Don't choke the chicken, like I told Omega when he was streaming what were you streaming? Ocarina of Time yesterday?
Oh yeah. I was streaming Ocarina of Time actually.
Don't choke the chicken.
Yeah.
He choked his chicken.
I was grabbing him.
All right. Well, that was Johnny O. That was seemed like a popular pick at number 2.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's as good as my number 2 though. Let's go to my number 2 pick now.
In the ring, out of the ring, out of control! WWF Royal Rumble on Super NES 16 McMahon! This crowd's rocking!
It's perfect.
With more WWF superstars than ever before! Unbelievable 6 men in the ring at once! No holds barred, anything goes action! It's a slugfest!
That's perfect.
Each wrestler's specialty mode! Complete mayhem! The Tombstone Pile It's out of control! The Bonsai Drop! Total chaos!
The perfect plex.
Oh, did you see that? WWF Royal Rumble on Super NES! Get it now!
At number 2, I've got WWF Royal Rumble. You see a trend here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I used to play. This is probably the Super Nintendo game I played the most in the 90s because my friend, my neighbor, Killer Dragon on YouTube that listens to the podcast, he used to live across from me. So I used to go to his house because he had the Super Nintendo. And I didn't care about Zelda. I didn't care about Super Metroid. I want to play WWF Royal Rumble.
Nice.
Like just the Royal Rumble mode. And what I like about the Super Nintendo version, well, both versions, because they both had different wrestlers.
Yeah, they
Like,
had different rosters. Yeah.
Yeah, like I mean, they had like the main guys like Bret Hart, right?
Yeah.
Razor Ramon, I think. But then
Yeah,
the Super Nintendo had
Hogan. Hogan was in Genesis. Super Nintendo had Yokozuna.
Tatanka.
Yeah, Tatanka. Yeah.
The Native American. Can you give us a?
No.
They had Tatanka, had Perfect, who you heard in the commercial.
Yeah.
Yokozuna.
Oh, and they had Ric Flair. That was the only one that had Ric Flair.
Yeah, had the Nature Boy on there.
Yeah.
And I just loved it. You know, I know that LJN gets shit on a lot. It made this game, but I thought this was actually a fun wrestling game.
No, I liked it. That was probably one of my favorite wrestling games.
That one had Razor Ramon and Randy Savage in it too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Crush was in it. Yokozuna, DiBiase was in it.
Yeah, I loved Crush's theme song, and I was obsessed with their theme song. Oh.
Yeah, that was cool listening to the theme songs on Super Nintendo. Yeah,
I used to do that on the Genesis, but yeah, it was fun just leaving it on the character.
Yeah,
and then just listening to their theme, like almost like listening to like your radio, but you're listening to that MIDI versions of WWF themes.
That Rick Martel theme is like the bee's knees on Genesis.
Wasn't that the first game, Royal Rumble, that they actually, the WWE wrestlers had finishers? Because
that was it.
Before that was WrestleMania, Super WrestleMania, and they didn't have finishers.
Yeah, no, they're all the same with no finishers.
There he goes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hell yeah, Kona Crush.
Yeah, his theme sounds a lot like Sid Justice.
Yeah. Play that over and over.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I used to. That's the Super WrestleMania. Most of the time, I was just listening to the music. The game was kind of trash, but
yeah, that game was bad.
Me too. Yeah.
Omega, have you ever played WWF Royal Rumble?
I don't have too many memories of it. I think, if anything, I used to play WrestleMania, the arcade game, quite a bit. The one that was kind of like Street Fighter Mortal Kombat
MK,
the digitized graphics.
Yeah,
that one was good too.
That
one was good, but not good on the 16-bit consoles.
Yeah,
I think it was better on the PlayStation.
Like the PlayStation, and I think the Saturn had it too, or was it the Sega CD? I forget.
Sega CD had Rage in the Cage, which was good.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it was.
Great.
Yeah.
With the FMV videos.
Yeah.
Which back then we were like, oh man, like a video.
Yeah, if you press if you press like select if you press one of the buttons or the two Z and X, or I can't remember what it was, but it would show a video of their finishing move, like a little black and white video.
like you didn't watch the WWE programming to find out what their finishing move is in the first place. Like, look, it's right there. It's right there. Look.
Yeah.
The only thing with this game, when I play it now, like on the Raspberry Pi, Like being at this age with freaking carpal
Oh,
tunnel.
yeah,
Like,
that button mashing.
yeah, like the button mashing you have to do in this damn game. It's a little rough.
Yeah.
I gotta play it like in spurts. All right. Well, that was my number 2. We're gonna go to Omega. Omega's number 2 pick.
All the bases are on.
西暦2100 WX 年レプリロイドたちの反乱が始まったもう一人のヒーローロックマン X スーパーファミコンで新登場君はまだ X を知らない
Can you translate what that dude said?
I believe that was a Mega Man X, is what that was.
Yep,
There.
Mega Man X at
All
number
right.
2. Tell us about your
Yeah.
pick.
Some of the most badass music I've ever heard come out of the Super Nintendo came out of Mega Man X. Spark Mandrill's theme, Storm Eagles. God, just about every stage had such an awesome theme. This was actually this was the first Super Nintendo game I tried when I got my first Super Nintendo. This was the very first one I popped in. I said, I've heard so much about this game. I got to see what the fuss is about, you know? My prior experience before this was like Mega Man's 1 and 2. I don't think I knew anybody that had 3 through 6, but at least not at the time. But yeah, going from Mega Man's 1 and 2 to this to Mega Man X, it was such a gigantic leap.
Mm-hmm.
And even just being able to pick around the board and just play it how you want to play it, you know? If you want to challenge yourself and pick somebody that you know is a lot tougher with just the blaster, and kind of just go about it your way, I think that was just a really satisfying way to go about it. I recently played in a little bit of a competition, where people were trying to get through the game as fast as they could, and I took a different route. I said, oh well, I'm going to make it fun for myself. I'm going to take the most challenging route instead of the quickest route, and I found some satisfaction in that. I didn't have to be first to feel like a winner. You know what I mean?
Yeah, very cool. Johnny, you got any thoughts on this one? You ever played this?
Yeah, this is actually going to be on my list. I played all the other Mega Man games, like the NES ones, and then I could never beat them. And then I beat the ones on the Game Boy, but I could never beat the ones on the NES. And then Mega Man X came out, and I loved it. And it was so awesome, where you can find those hidden capsules where you can get power-ups to your armor and it was awesome. It just made everything, the dash, just made everything better. And I could beat Mega Man X 1 through 3. After that, I just never really played the rest of them. I recently got the collection for the Switch, but I still haven't. I mean, I didn't go back to them, whatever. But it's awesome, just an awesome game. The series. I mean, I can't say enough good things about Mega Man X.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on this one, Tylord?
Never played that one. Like Johnny was saying, those Mega Mans on NES killed me. Like, I really enjoy them, but I've never beaten a single Mega Man. I can come close with 2. And I just thought, I was expecting X to just be more of that, and so I never bothered. But hearing what Johnny said about it, he can actually beat that, kind of makes me want to try it now. And isn't it on the Mini, the Nintendo Mini?
The Switch, it's on the Switch right now, where you can do the collection. You can do Mega Man X Collection 1 and 2, and you can do the old NES games too.
Okay, so this is the one I should do, Mega Man X, the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's a great one. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, because all I hear is the music is so good and the gameplay is all good, but I don't know, those Mega Mans, I couldn't get through any of them. The original 6 on NES.
This one's easier than Omega, you would say, than the NES ones?
Yeah, I would say so. It's it gives you the tools necessary to get through it. If you pick up enough items along the way, enough upgrades, some health tanks, so you can fill those up and stock up on health reserves for the bosses that you struggle against. You can power through it. Yeah.
So that sounds
I think I've always been intimidated by these games because you hear how hard they are, and I'm like, man, I don't want to go through that. I don't want to play those kind of games.
Mega Man X was actually the first game I ever streamed. I streamed X through X6, and I hated X6 so much that I just stopped right there. I didn't want to.
No.
Yeah, I heard X7 was even worse than X6, and I said, "Dude, how's that possible?" I
Like
couldn't stand
difficulty
X6.
wise, or it just wasn't good.
X6 just had too much to collect. Like it was just really grindy and tedious, and then I hear X7 is just bad all around. They say they redeemed themselves with X8, but I like to play them in succession, so I guess I gotta be in the mood to play through X7 before I hop on X8.
So the X's are structured like the old ones, like boss level by boss level, or is it more like a Metroid type thing?
No, it's boss level. They have
Okay.
Levels, yeah.
Okay.
some
You'll like it,
unique names for the bosses though in these ones.
Yeah.
It's not just simple like Iceman and
Yeah.
you know, Metal Man. It's
Yeah.
All
pretty
right.
cool.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
okay.
Omega's number 2 pick. We're gonna go to Tylord's number 2 pick now. At number 2, Tylord, you've got Super Street Fighter 2.
Yeah, absolutely. So I could have picked any of the Street Fighter releases. Like if it wasn't this one, it would be Street Fighter 2 Super Turbo, or no, Turbo Hyper Fighting, or if it wasn't that, it would be the World Warriors. But I just chose this. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Turbo. Yeah.
yeah, 2 Turbo. I would have picked that one, or even if those never existed, I would pick the original World Warriors, just because I love that game so much. And so Street Fighter, Super Street Fighter seems like it has a little bit more content, so I went with that one. But like ever since I played that at the arcade, like I didn't even know what Street Fighter 1 was at the time, but that Street Fighter 2 just like looks so impressive, and it just seemed like so like leagues ahead of anything else. Like fight like after playing like ER Kung Fu or what was the other one, like Karate Champ, like this thing was something incredible. It had the combo system and the special moves. And like every fighting game since then has been influenced by that game. Like every game, like that's like the most influential fighting game. But anyway, the Nintendo version, the home console version, the Super Nintendo, was a very faithful port. Like if you put them side by side, you can tell major differences. But when you're sitting on your CRT TV playing it, like it feels pretty darn close to the arcade. Yeah, buddies and I would play this all the time at home. It was so nice that you didn't have to waste quarters all day to play it. Could play it all day long at home. I actually think that it feels pretty darn good on the Super Nintendo controller, the D-pad. That's one of my preferred ways of playing fighting games. The Genesis 6 button is probably the best, but I do like the Super Nintendo. Yeah, it controls well, probably just as good as the Genesis one. Yeah, just a lot of content in there, like so many characters you could be. And just like so many memorable characters, like you could like probably every single Street Fighter character is iconic. That's how much like of an influence it has like on pop culture. And once again, a fighting game, like so I was into like judo and martial arts when I was a kid, so I like that. And in pro wrestling, like there was a lot of pro wrestling moves in there. And another thing was the music in this. The like every track in this game, I don't know if the instrumentation is that great on Super Nintendo compared to other things, but like every track, like just the composition of it is just so memorable. Like the melody of the tune, I just like all of those tracks in the game. I just love them. That they're so memorable. I can't remember the composer's name that did those, but I know it's a female. I can't think of her name, but she does most of those tracks, and there's all fantastic special moves. Yeah, a voiceover like the special moves kind of gets repetitive, like Hadouken, but just love every bit of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I probably always will. Like I still play with my friends at work. We still play Street Fighter 5 on a laptop at break time.
Nice.
But I still go back and play this one, or just because like I don't know, it just still feels really good to me. And I can get I'm at the part where I could beat it with one credit on the hardest difficulty. But it's not as tough as Super Turbo, of course, or Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, which was but I can still like beat it on Super Nintendo, which is a little bit easier, even on the hard setting. But I still love this game.
Who's your guy? Who's your fighter?
I have a few of them. On this one, I usually just pick Ryu, or I like Sagat. When I'm playing like competitively or friendly competition, I like Balrog or M. Bison, or but I usually
Balrog as a competitive one because he doesn't have projectiles.
Yeah, but he has that good little headbutt, and his punches he has long distance, or he has a long reach, and they're fast.
And I know you like fighting games, Omega.
Yeah.
You like this one?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Big time. Yeah. I my go-to characters are probably DJ and Guile. I really like using charge characters.
Of course. Is Charlie in this one?
Yeah. Charlie was in the Alpha series. Yeah.
Johnny, we went up to hang out with Tylord, Omega, and I, and we went to a barcade, and we Omega was waxing us.
Yeah,
with
Charlie.
Charlie character.
Yeah,
it must be a West Coast thing. I don't think we have those here.
Yeah, we don't have many of them. It was a privilege. We all got to meet up right there at that. I think that's the only one around there.
No, Tylord had my number in Street Fighter 2, though. I remember. No, Mortal Kombat 2.
Oh no, I don't think so. I think you were mashing me on that.
And those Capcom games, Street Fighter, namely, didn't they have like a code, like when you do the title screen, there's like a code, a button combination?
Oh yeah. That was something we would do over and over. It was down R, up L, left, right, A, B. Right? Is that what? Yeah, it would let you fight the same character like out of the box. It wouldn't let you fight the same character against the same character. But if you did that was on the World Warrior, and it would let you fight the same guy against the same guy, which was cool.
So I've played Street Fighter 2, and probably not all the versions, but like, what system was Street Fighter 1 at? Because I've never heard of Street Fighter 1.
Arcade only, wasn't it?
It was arcade, but they had a port of it. Yeah, it was arcade, and I never saw it until after the fact. Like after Street Fighter 2, they started popping up here and there. But there was a port of it on Turbo Graphics.
They really milked the title, huh?
Yeah.
How many different titles in one number, you know?
Yeah, people complain nowadays about DLC. I gotta buy DLC. But back then, us little fools, we would buy Street Fighter World Warriors, and then a year later, a year later or 6 months or 9 months get Street Fighter Turbo, and then get Super Street Fighter another year after that, like all the same game.
so this one had I think we lost Omega. This one had a DJ, I remember, right? DJ.
Yeah, they added this one added Cammy, DJ, T-Hawk, and
that was for Cammy, not DJ.
Oh, sure. That was for T-Hawk. Come on.
That was another thing. Yeah, that's another thing about Street Fighter. Like when you're a kid, you see all these hot, like very detailed drawn women on these games. Like what the heck?
Yep. Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. All right. Well, that was Tylord, your number 2. So that was the last number 2. So now we're going to our all-time favorite SNES game. So we're gonna go to Johnny's pick.
All right.
First.
Introducing the next generation from Nintendo. New Super Mario World. Created especially for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. It's a bit more exciting, a bit more challenging, a bit more graphic, a bit more colorful, a bit more realistic, a bit more levels, a bit more secret, a bit more enemies, a bit more friends, a bit more sound, a bit hotter, a bit cooler, a bit weird, a bit more revolutionary, a bit more Mario, a bit more of what you want. It's 16-bit, and it's yours only if you get new Super Nintendo. Now you're playing with power, superpower.
All-time favorite SNES game, Johnny. You've got Super Mario World.
So, I think that this is the best Mario game of all time. I challenge anybody. I mean, Mario Odyssey was good, okay, but I think that's second place now compared to Mario World still. I mean, so, this was the launch title for the Super Nintendo. And did you know, and this is one of my notes I wrote today, because it was when it came out, like if you didn't buy the Mario with the Super Nintendo, if you went and bought the game by itself, it was $24.99.
Oh yeah, wow.
It was that cheap?
Said it was $25. Yeah,
wow, that's
yeah.
wonderful.
20.6 million copies sold. 96 levels, though the only thing is I've only ever found 94. I've never found 96 levels, and I played it over and over and over, and I don't know what I'm missing.
Yeah, it's one of those exits. It's like 96 exits, and I can never find all of them.
Yeah.
What do you get if you find all of it?
You just get a little. You get like they turn like don't the turtles turn into like little Mario guys or something.
Yeah, that
well,
was.
I think I got those. I think you just beat the castle, the Bowser, to get that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. It just has a little star by it. Then by the 96. I think that's the only thing you get.
Yeah, you get a star. Yay!
Yeah.
It's like a little asterisk, yeah.
Did you notice in this game there's like football players and they throw baseballs?
Yeah, Charge and Chuck. Yeah.
Charge and Chuck. Yep.
Yeah.
And in the Japan version, the dolphins that come down on one of the levels, Yoshi can actually eat those.
Yeah.
But to make the game harder. But in the American version, they took that out, so that it's a little easier for us, I guess. But, yeah. But yeah, I actually tweeted Nintendo of America now. I probably should try to contact the creator of Mario, but I actually contacted today, actually on Twitter. I tried to get the maker, the original maker. I forgot, I can't even pronounce his name, but I was trying to see if they can make a sequel to this, because they said they are working on a new Mario game and they'll announce something soon. But I'm hoping they go back to Mario World, because Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island to me sucked. I mean,
I'm not. I know it doesn't suck, but I'm not into that game at all.
It wasn't a real sequel, you know. I want Mario being the, Mario Luigi, you know. But they should go back to Dinosaur Land or whatever it is and do something else with this.
That would be fantastic. Yeah.
That would be cool.
You guys all played this?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
Mario, you beat this one?
Even I've played it.
Did you beat it?
You know what I was playing it on? You know how you can download emulators on your phone?
Oh, yeah.
For a while, I was playing it on my phone, and then I got stuck in this. Like, you go to this other island, and you have to, like, everything's invisible, and I got lost, and I couldn't figure out what to do. I gave up. But this is one game I actually want to go back and, like, beat, because I had so much fun playing it.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it might take like a day or two. It's not super long, and it has save checkpoints. So it's not like Mario 3 where you have to beat the whole game in one sitting. It's like it's a fun little game. It'll take you a couple days. I think you could probably do it in one sitting if you stuck your nose to the grindstone. But
what about you, Omega? Is this the greatest Mario game ever?
I mean, it kind of sort of overlaps with my number one pick. If you want me to just dive right into it,
see, I messed up.
Not yet. But this what do you say?
Wait, is your number one? Hold on, is your number one game Mario is missing? I'm just kidding. Has anyone heard of that game? That game sucks.
Mario Paint. Mario Paint.
Yeah,
Mario Paint.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good.
Go on.
Yeah. So this one, would you say is the best 2D one then?
That's really hard to say. That's really hard to
Yeah.
say. I'm really torn between that and Super Mario Brothers 3. I think Super
that's
Mario
true.
Brothers 3 introduced a lot of the major firsts in the series, and I really like how do I put this? The diversity of the worlds. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like there's like World 2's the desert, World 3 the water world essentially. And you can't deny the giant world wasn't awesome when that was introduced in Super Mario Brothers 3. The impact that world had when you saw that for the first time versus say, can you really compare that reaction to any world in Super Mario World? I ask you that, Johnny.
I mean, I think even just the first level and seeing dinosaurs and stuff like that,
Yeah,
it's pretty
and
cool.
that giant,
and then the introduction to Yoshi. I mean, you got Yoshi in there.
Yoshi, yeah.
And you got that giant bullet bill. It's like called Bonsai Bill. Like you never saw a big bullet bill that big before.
I'm split between those two. I really like Super Mario World and I really like Super Mario Brothers 3. Yeah,
I'm split between about 4 of them. I'll get to that too. Yeah.
All right. Well, that was Johnny's number 1.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to my number 1 pick now.
It's Saturday night, and anything goes. In Saturday Night Slam Masters, the huge arcade hit now coming to Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis. 24 megs big. Saturday Night Slam Masters features 10 colorful wrestlers, each one more off-the-wall awesome than the last, and each with their own special and secret moves for experienced gamers to discover. With 2 modes of play, single match and team battle royal, up to 4 players can go the mat in Saturday Night Slam Masters.
It's greater time, motherfuckers. I got Saturday Night Slam Masters at my number 1 favorite SNES game. All wrestling games. But this was another one of those games that I played the hell out of when I would go hang out with my friend Francisco Killer Rules. This was the other one. Let's play Saturday Night Slam Master. I never got past the damn second match, I think, because it's so hard. It's like super hard and annoying, but I love how the wrestlers had intros, because if you remember Royal Rumble, they didn't have intros. This one, they actually had intros.
Yeah, they had fireworks and everything.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, this has intros. This is so awesome. And you would see what was the guy's name? Rasta Man. I think that was Rasta. He had the little monkey on his shoulder, and he had a little monkey theme or something.
Yeah.
Scorpion was Sting or something, or they had Stinger. They had a Stinger. Scorpion and Sting. One of them was Rey Mysterio, and one of them was
was that El Stingray? I think.
Yeah, El Stingray maybe, or
Tiny Tim, which was Giant Gonzalez. You had
Titan Tim. Titan.
Yeah, wasn't it Tiny Tim or Tiny Tim? Titan. Wasn't that the Titan Tim?
Yeah, Titanic Tim.
Oh, whatever. That guy.
Something like that. You can't stop the Titanic or something like that, or you can't sink the Titanic. That's what he used to say.
Yeah,
before the match.
You had Grader. You had who else was in there?
There's Hagar from Final Fight.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Mike Hagar. Gunlock. Okay. I think Gunlock. Which
I think wasn't he supposed to be Guile's brother?
Yeah.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Is that true?
Wow.
Really?
I didn't know that. That's cool.
And Biff. I used to like picking Biff and Gunlock, and I would say, oh, these are the American males.
Yeah, they're tag team champions. I like how you could defend the title too. After you win the title, you could defend it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know. I never got past the second.
Dude,
I beat it.
Oh man, I gotta get some tips from you, because I know there's something in that game I really would like, but I can't figure out how to play it. I know you grapple in Final Fight, but I just can never get the grapple.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. It's it's just like taking Zangief and doing a pile driver. I mean, in Street Fighter,
Okay. So you
it's
do
pretty much the same. You just grab them.
Okay.
How do you win at this game? Did you use a Game Genie?
No, I never had one actually. But I set it on easy. I mean, you can set it on easy level.
Ah.
Oh, okay.
I set everything on easy level.
Have you played this on Omega, the Saturday Night Slam Masters?
Yeah, definitely. I was always enthralled by the universe that Capcom was sort of creating with Street Fighter and how they overlap with Final Fight.
Yeah, I love it.
Even with like Street Fighter 5, they have Abigail from Final Fights in there, Lucia from Final Fight 3. Mike, Mike. I don't think Mike Hager has been.
Yeah, Mike hasn't been in any of them, but they got all those guys like Sodom and Abigail and Andre. They're all in Street Fighter now.
Yeah,
I wonder why there wasn't a sequel to this game.
Oh,
there was. It was a fighting game.
It's an arcade only.
Yeah.
Saturday
Night only?
Yeah, I think it's arcade from. I played it on my Raspberry Pi, and it was an arcade game.
Yeah.
But I always kind of wished, or I always kind of hoped that eventually Saturday Night Slam Masters would bleed into Street Fighter more.
Yeah, like we get Grader on there.
Or Flapjack or something, whatever his name, the big fat guy.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I want to see him in Street Fighter 6. Make it happen.
Oh heck yeah, absolutely.
I want to see Gunlock and Biff.
Yeah.
In the Fire Pro Wrestling games, the newest one, World or whatever, people have made all the Saturday Night Slam Master characters.
Oh really?
Oh nice.
Yeah, you can play as them.
Nice.
Oh nice. I have that game. I gotta see how to download those guys.
Fire Pro Wrestling World.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very cool.
It's a good game.
All right. So yeah, I just had a bunch of wrestling games on my list. So we're gonna the next pick is actually Tylord and Omega's number 1 pick.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
You guys both have the same number 1 pick. So here it goes.
Will be
Right back.
Speed Style is now one of the best values in America. Yes, for a limited time, buy the Super NES Super Set and get 5 complete Mario games standard. You'll get Super Mario World, and for $3.50 in postage, Super Mario All-Stars free with 4 Mario games in 1. So stop by your Nintendo dealer today.
When it comes to value, don't forget Super Nintendo Super Set.
Now you can also buy the control set and get Super Mario.
I saw a look on Johnny's face. Do you think they cheated with this pick?
They cheated.
Yeah.
Actually, before you guys start, my friend, they had an offer of this game that if you bought Super Nintendo and you saved your receipt, you send your receipt in, and they would give you the copy of the All-Stars. Well, my friend faked his receipt and got like 2-3 copies. Like he ended up getting a bunch of copies, gave one to me.
Wow.
How do you?
It was something he did where he ended up getting a bunch of them.
So you can't complain about me and Jose cheating then?
No.
Right.
I'm a villain. I cheat to win, I'm a heel right to the bone.
I guess I'll start with Omega. Tell us about this pick.
Okay,
Super Mario World with Super Mario All-Stars.
When you're torn and you can't decide, you go with the safest bet, which is this one here, right? Super Mario All-Stars with Super Mario World. A little known detail is actually the Luigi sprite is actually different in this one as opposed to the Luigi sprite in regular Super Mario World, where he's just a palette swap, like a different color of Mario.
I did not know that.
Yeah, this one he's actually a little bit taller in this one, so it's an interesting little detail that a lot of people assumed was first incorporated on the Game Boy Advance version of Super Mario World, but it actually started right here.
Wow.
Yeah,
it's actually like they remastered the SNES Mario games.
They're certainly remastered. They're a perfect port, pretty much. Like it plays exactly the same. Only it says like what's it called? Parallax scrolling and 16-bit graphics and better music and everything. But they're pretty much exactly the same game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which it was on. I love it.
Yeah. Talk about it like a good bang for your buck right there.
Oh
yeah.
5 games, right?
5 games.
It was. Yep.
So what do you guys think of Lost Levels in there? Because I beat Lost Levels.
Oh, dude, yeah.
And Luigi can jump higher than it was awesome.
I think I went with a Luigi to beat it because after you beat it, you have to play like 5 more worlds after you beat it to actually beat it.
Yeah,
and it gives
A1 all the way to D4, I think.
Dude, and that last
or D8 or something.
that last castle was something else. It's like a big maze. It's like one of the most challenging Mario levels there is. But
yeah, I challenge anybody to play Lost Levels and beat it the whole way without warping. No warping.
That was the Japanese one that was part 2, right? For them.
Yeah.
We didn't get.
And and that's probably my least favorite of the 4, but I still love that game, the Lost Levels.
I like it better than regular Mario 2. Like I actually like the Japan version better.
Not me. I love Mario 2. I think that one might be tied for my top favorite Mario game. It's so different. I mean, because I was really influenced. Like when I was a kid, I was really drawn into that. That's like what got me into video games was Mario 1 and 2, and there was so much hype for Mario 2, and like I lived up to the hype. I thought Super Mario 2, even though it was way different, it sort of seemed like super surreal or like a nightmare or something, but I loved it.
All right.
The only time I ever finished Super Mario the Lost Levels was actually through Super Mario Deluxe on the Game Boy Color, because that was the game on there.
That was
playing it on that tiny little screen. I don't know. I don't know how I managed, honestly. I don't know.
I think that one would give you unlimited continues, I think, didn't it?
Probably, yeah. I don't recall, but I mean, that was the only way I was able to beat it.
Me too. Yeah, that's the only way I could beat it on was on the All-Star Collection, because it gives you unlimited continues.
All right. Well, we went through our list.
Honorable
mentions. I'll start with Johnny O. Any honorable mentions?
Do I list them all off at once so then it's all out there?
Yeah.
So then, okay. So the honorable mention. There's an X-Men game that was really good. I liked. I think it was Mutant. Was it Mutant Apocalypse or Mutant? Anyone ever play that X-Men game? You could be Wolverine, Gambit, Cyclops.
It's the one where they had like really big sprites.
It's Capcom made it.
Okay.
Oh man,
I think that's the one, right?
Was
With
it
the
War of the
big
Gems?
sprites?
Yeah, War of the Gems. No, it wasn't War of the Gems, because War of the Gems is the fighting game, I think.
It was like a side-scrolling, like
yeah.
Okay.
And then you beat each level, and you get a code. Like you get a code, so you can just go back and start at that level.
Okay. Oh, that's cool.
Almost like a old Mega Man game. How you get a code.
Okay.
Another game, Act Razor.
Oh, good one.
You can play God. I mean, you're basically you can. And I love that you can like help they have a remastered version now on the Switch.
Yeah.
And it's actually pretty good. Like
I haven't tried it yet.
The Donkey Kong Country game series.
Absolutely.
I mean, look at the graphics of the Donkey Kong games.
Man.
I mean,
that doesn't even belong on. Yeah, it doesn't even belong on Super Nintendo. It looks like PlayStation graphics.
Right.
Or something.
Yeah, it was like the next generation before this next generation.
Yeah.
One of the things I wanted to mention before I finished up is, and you collectors are going to kill me. I had saved every single empty Super Nintendo box, and I just got rid of them. Just like I gave some away. I mean, I just found them in my house. I mean, these are all the original boxes with the instruction manuals in it.
Oh, wow.
And like, I just gave some away, and then I found out they're worth something. So hey, give me $5-10 for them. And I found out you can actually make a lot more from that because people are searching for these things, and I didn't know that.
Yeah. So you were gonna say you like lit them on fire, like
no, my mom wanted to though. Yeah. Oh, and then the last thing is my son. So I am pretty darn good. I say of Mario. I've always been at Mario Maker 1 and 2. We've been playing those and making levels and stuff like that. And my son just turned 15 today, and I realized, and I taught him how to play Mario. Well, the learner became the master, and now he is better than I am at Mario, and I suck. I don't know what happened to me. I'm horrible at it now.
He's got those young,
Those young
fingers, fast
reflexes.
Yeah,
reflexes.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. What about you, Omega? Any honorable mentions that didn't make the top 3?
Yeah, there's a few that kind of overlap with some of your guys' top threes. That's why I was kind of presenting them to the screen. So that was Street Fighter 2 Turbo was one of them, and Link to the Past was another. Let me see what else I got over here. So here's a big one for me. Actually, here's another one that was mentioned. It was Turtles in Time. So those were all covered already. I got just a few here. I got Super Punch Out. I got Super Punch Out. That was a really big one for me. This one was gifted to me by my buddy Garrett back in high school. It was around the time he found out that I just bought the Super Nintendo. He said, "Oh, I got a bunch of old Super Nintendo games. I'm going to bring them over." And he brought them over, and then we played them. And then he was like, "All right, see." I was like, "Hey, you're forgetting your Super Nintendo games." And that was one of those heartwarming moments. And he's like, "Oh, you mean your Super Nintendo games?" I was like, "Oh, it's so nice."
Oh,
They just brought me this stack of games, and this was one of them. So I put a lot of time into this one. Sunset Riders. This one here.
Love Sunset Riders.
Gosh, so my cousin and I, whenever I'd go to Mexico every like couple of years, there was an arcade over there. It had a really generic name. It was called Fun World, just but in Fun World, but in Spanish. And we'd go straight to this cabinet. We'd always make it to Richard Rose, and Richard Rose would take us for all we were worth, and we'd walk out empty-handed. We never beat Richard Rose.
Just like the Royal Rumble game, that one had different characters, right?
You said
Riders on the SNES.
Yeah. Say that again.
It had different characters, right? Because it was on the Sega Genesis, but I think it had different characters you could choose.
Oh yeah.
On both consoles.
Yeah, so Sunset Riders had four playable characters in the arcade version and the SNES version, and then on the Genesis it had 2 playable characters.
Yeah, I think we had Cormano and
Cormano and I want to say Steve. I want to say was the name of the other guy that was playable in the Genesis, but we always made it to Richard Rose. I remember one time I went back to Mexico. It was like almost like a tradition, and I told him, I said, "All right, let's go fight Richard Rose. We're gonna beat him this time." And then he said, then that's when he told me, he's like, "Fun World's gone, man. The arcade closed down." I was like, "Shit, we never beat him. We never beat him." You know?
I love the music. The music in Sunset Riders too. That's good music.
Yeah, great music. Last 2, Super Double Dragon.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's a fun one. Used to play the heck out of this one with my buddies in high school as well. And then this last one here, this one's actually my wife's copy. Legend of the Mystical Ninja for the Super Nintendo.
Excellent.
What is it?
The Legend of the Mystical Ninja.
I never played it.
Yeah, this is a really crazy game. Like, I mean, even just from looking at the cover, I'm trying to like get the glare away from it, but like you can just tell it's a wild game.
It looks very expensive.
It is now.
It's very minty.
Yeah. But yeah, my wife got me into this one. Actually, she was my girlfriend at the time. She had asked me if I'd ever played this one. I said no, and it's a cooperative game. You can play them both at the same time. It got a couple sequels in Japan that we didn't get here. I got 2 out of the 3 sequels for the Super Famicom. I haven't played through those. I've never even beaten this one. I keep pushing her to stream with me. I'm going to convince her one day, and her and I we're going to stream this one together. We're going to try to beat it live.
It's co-op or single player?
Yeah, it's co-op. You play together.
It kind of looks like that Pocky and Rocky, like the cover.
Yeah, it's kind of like how do I describe it really? It's like side-scrolling, kind of like a beat-em-up where you can kind of move up and down on the plane. But you have yo-yos and pipes, and you're just hitting the enemies in the head. And when you hit them, they turn to coins. You can buy coins. It's pretty fun. But that's
kind of like River City.
Yeah, it's kind of sort of. Yeah, it's sort. Actually, it's a lot like River City Ransom. I'd say that's probably the closest thing you can compare it to.
Oh, okay.
What about you, Tylord? Honorable mentions.
I had Out of This World. I know you probably played it on Genesis, but I always played it on Super Nintendo. It was so like cinematic and it felt like a movie on a Super Nintendo. I remember that one really floored me when I popped it in. And then I had Final Fight 3 I really liked. That's probably one of my favorite beat 'em ups.
I think you mentioned Peacekeepers.
Yeah, Peacekeepers, another one that's a lot like Final Fight by Jalico, and it's in that Rival Turf series. It's the 3rd one. I think it's the best one. I think that's a really fun beat 'em up, and you can do 2-player, and you can even do like 4-player versus on it.
Is
And
that
it
the
has
one
like
that has the Steiner brothers?
the Steiner brothers are a boss in there. You you fight it.
They're the real Steiner brothers are in there.
There are these two guys that look like Rick Steiner, like they have the singlet and the hairpiece, and they do the move, the Steiner move, where one guy has them up on his shoulders, like they'll
the
pick you
Steiner
up.
line. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, Steiner line, and then cool game. Like it has like multiple characters, and it has like a kind of a more intricate story than most fighting games, and you can do branching paths, and depending on what character you are, the story might be a little different. I think it's a cool, like really overlooked beat 'em up. It plays just like Final Fight or Streets of Rage.
Mm-hmm.
So what's going on? No Lester the Unlikely or the Home Alone games.
Oh, I forgot. Super Metroid.
Oh yeah. Oh, how can we forget that one? Yeah.
Super Metroid is one of my favorite games. I don't know why I forgot that one. It blew my mind.
Omega just beat that on stream, I think, like a few weeks ago.
Yeah, that was my first time finishing the game, actually. So that was pretty cool.
Did you get stuck? Did you ever fall down that hole and you get stuck with that ostrich or that bird? And he's like trying to teach you how to like wall jump.
Oh man, you know what drove me absolutely bonkers was the part of the planet where you're like submerged in the sand and you keep hopping out. You're trying to hop out of the sand.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Insanity.
Yeah.
Hey, as a part of the wrestling games, Tiburon, how about WCW Super Brawl Wrestling?
I was going to my honorable mentions.
I'm so sorry.
Super Brawl. Just kidding. That one is like garbage. That game. WCW Super Brawl sucks.
Remember all the like where you pick a character and it would have something they say like
Johnny
Rick Rude would be like the sexiest man alive.
Yeah.
What would Johnny B. Bad say? I'm so pretty. Or something.
He said. I remember Dustin Rhodes was like no second chance.
Yeah, it had a good roster though.
You want Vader?
I just remember over and over just doing forearm, like
show me
just a
respect.
jumping forearm. That's yeah.
Ron Simmons was like, show me respect.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, my honorable mentions is Super Mario World, Donkey Kong Country. I've never beaten those games, but those are the two games that, since they're on the Switch, on the online thing, I'm like, I want to beat those games.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, Super Mario Kart, even though it's not my favorite Mario Kart, it's still a fun one.
Yeah.
Turtles in Time, Gradius 3, just because I would always play that at my friends too. Gradius 3. Never got past the first stage. That thing's super hard.
Yeah, it's tough.
Super Punch Out. That's a good one too.
Oh, excellent.
Yep.
All right. Well, that was it. But if you've listened to this podcast before, it's tradition around here to play a little trivia game at the end of the episode. So
okay,
we're gonna take a quick commercial break, come back and play a little trivia game.
You're looking at the next breakthrough for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Introducing Super Scope 6. Remote-powered and laser-accurate. Precise to a single television pixel. It comes with 6 great games, and it's yours for under $60, all of which gets you into the game. Like never before. Super Scope 6, only for Super Nintendo.
Did any of you guys ever own that?
I never did. Do you guys?
Sadly, no. I had a friend who had one, and I was, living vicariously through him. I just watch him play it. But
my neighbor had it.
Nice.
Oh, that one neighbor that had everything.
Yeah, one neighbor. Damn neighbor.
I remember I always wanted it to play Terminator 2 arcade game, but I never got it. And I was just watching a video on that. I guess all those games on that 6-pack suck except for like one.
All right.
Yeah, I think he only played one of those. I forgot which one.
All right, so this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna play 10 audio clips from SNES games. Whoever gets the most correct just wins.
Okay.
You just have to raise your hand. As soon as you know what it is, raise your hand, and I'm gonna call on whoever raised it first.
Okay.
I'm gonna preface this by saying Tylord is undefeated That's why I call him the Native American Tatanka. Remember, Tatanka was on that winning streak. Tylord has yet to lose, but Johnny O, the last time I had him on, he got 9 out of 10, which is I think still the highest win percentage, percentage that he got correct for the.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like Goldberg. I'll be on a winning streak.
Yeah, you're gonna be the Lud. Are you gonna?
Yeah,
is
he'll
he
be
gonna
the
be the Ludwig Borga?
Yeah, I'm thinking that.
Yeah.
So no pressure, Omega. No pressure.
Don't make me do my impersonation.
All right. So once you know, so this is gonna be like most of it's like gameplay audio. So you might hear the intro, you might hear just a song, you might hear a little bit of gameplay. So
when you play music, sometimes it's a little distorted. So I don't know if you guys hear that, but I do over here. Distorted.
Let me see if I can share my screen. Hold on, let me try that. Can I share right here? Maybe you'll hear it a little bit better. Hold on. Share screen with audio. Okay. With audio, tab audio. Okay. All right. I think you guys might be able to hear it better. I'm going to play an audio clip. This is just a test to see if you guys hear it better. Okay.
Okay.
The audio. Hold on. Let me know if you guys can hear this. You guys hear that?
I hear nothing.
Hold on.
Just go back to what you had before.
Oh, let me try one more time because I can edit this. Let's see. Yada yada. Share tab audio. Let me try it again. If it doesn't, it's just gonna have to be a little distorted. You guys don't hear that, huh?
Well, nope.
Okay, yeah. So it's gonna be a little distorted. All right.
Okay.
All right. We're gonna go to the first theme right here. So once you know, don't blurt out the answer. Raise your hand. I see Johnny O.
Is it Super R type?
It is not Super R type. I'm gonna keep playing a little bit of it and then see if Omega or Tylord know. You got it, Tylord?
Is it Bomberman?
It is not Bomberman. You want to take a wild guess, Omega?
Phalanx.
So Johnny O was the closest because I think it was a similar game. It's Gradius 3.
Oh my God.
Okay.
All right.
Son of a bitch.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good music, like a boss fight or something.
So that was close because that's like it was a shooter too.
Yeah, I just felt like you're like there's like music like you're shooting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like in the
next one.
space.
Tylord. I see Tylord first.
Tetris Attack.
It is Tetris Attack.
Damn, I was gonna say Dr. Mario.
Yeah, that's close. Yeah, that's my wife's favorite right there.
This is like the song that plays in my head. You know when you wake up and you think it's like Monday, but it's actually Sunday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to go to work. This is the song that starts playing in my head immediately. All right. Next one. Might take a minute to start it. I see Johnny O.
Oh,
I see
wait, keep going with that music. Hold on.
Oh, well, you raise your head. You got to guess right now.
Is it Super Metroid?
It is
No.
not Super Metroid. All right, let's keep
Suck
it
at
going.
this.
I think I own this one. Oh my god.
Anyone want to take a wild guess? You got to raise your hand first.
Wow. Mm-mm.
5, 4, 3, 2. That was the very expensive Earthbound.
Oh no, never mind. No, I
Oh,
wouldn't.
okay.
All right.
Never played it.
Next SNES game. You guys do not know what this is. You guys tap. Johnny
Yeah.
Clay Fighter?
Anyone else want to take a wild guess?
I have no clue.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That was you already answered once, Johnny. So we all get one chance. That was a Home Improvement.
I was just gonna say that. I was honestly just gonna say that because I'm like, wait, was there a Home Improvement game? Because I didn't think there was, but it had that tune, so I was like, I should have said that first.
Maybe if you would have heard the the little.
I didn't even get that part.
All right, next one. Tylord is only up by 1. It's still anyone's game. Next one. Omega.
Is that Joe and Mac?
It is not Joe and Mac. You play a little bit more. Anyone want to take a wild guess? Johnny O?
Donkey Kong?
It is not Donkey Kong.
Huh.
All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You got it?
I don't know. Super Adventure Island. I don't know.
You guys are all pretty close with the theme. It's Lester the Unlikely.
Never heard of it.
All right, next one. I see Omega first.
Okay.
Oh, Star Fox.
You are correct. That was Star Fox. So 1-1. Tylord 1-1. Tylord Omega 1-1. All right, next one. Tylord first.
F-Zero. I knew Omega knew that one.
Yeah.
All right, next one. Tylord.
Oh man.
Mario Kart.
That was Mario Kart.
Shoot.
All right, we got 3 left. So Omega, if you go 3 in a row, you can surpass him. Johnny O, you get 3 in a row, you can tie Tylord. And that'll be it. You know, you wouldn't have defeated the Native American Tatanka, but it would have been like a double count out.
Yeah. That'd be
Uh,
like a Warlord level thing or Bam Bam Bigelow.
Oh no, sorry. There's only 2 left, so
Okay.
Omega can only tie.
Best I
him.
can tie him. Yeah.
Yeah, you could get the double count out.
Well, I could be like the $1 million man. I could just buy my way to victory. Can
There
I?
you go.
I'll take
There
it.
Like, I'll text you the questions, okay?
Just send them some 007 games, and he'll give you.
Everybody's got a price.
All right, next one. I don't think anyone's gonna get this one. It's kind of a hard one. Anyone have any idea?
I'll guess just to guess, but
Yeah.
Stunt Racer FX.
Anyone want to take a stab at it? Anybody else?
Bubsy.
It is not. Johnny O.
Earthworm Jim.
I think Tylord was actually the closest one because it's another garbage game. It's Chester Cheetah.
Oh, no kidding.
Chester Cheetah.
All right, last theme. Whoops, not that one. Last one. Hold on, I think I'll go to the beginning because it's kind of hard to get it from that. Tylord?
Is that Mario All Stars?
It is not Mario All Stars. Omega?
Super Mario World 2.
It is not Super Mario World 2. Johnny O?
Super Mario World.
That is the Mario World theme.
Super Mario
It
RPG.
is Mario is missing.
Oh, that trash game.
Which we brought
We
up
were
a bunch
talking.
of
Oh, that trash game.
We got trolled.
So man, I put Tylord in a triple threat match. I was even like this. I think this could be it.
Yeah, I thought this was the Ludwig Borga. I was going to hit that Ludwig Borga today, but nope.
But the winning streak continues. So
All right.
You know what I give us, Tylord.
Yeah. Yeah. He has a tight theme song.
Is that still allowed to do? I don't want to get canceled.
Oh yeah.
We lost Johnny O. His phone must either he got booted or he took the loss that hard. All right, guys. Oh, there he goes. He's back.
Where'd he go?
All right. I thought you just were really upset by that loss. And that's why you left.
You're next.
All right, guys. We're going to take our last commercial break and come back and wrap things up.
So, what do you want to do?
Games with 5-headed aliens?
Wailed on them. Sports video games?
Toasted them.
Think you've conquered everything? Think again. Blockbuster has your next challenge. The latest games from JVC, Super Star Wars, and Super Empire Strikes Back. At Blockbuster, the challenges never end.
We accept the challenge.
Hey, you can beat the game, but you can't beat Blockbuster. Hardware not included, game sold separately.
Do any of you guys miss Blockbuster?
Yeah, I do. But it's just like now I would just go there for like an hour and just sit there or just walk around and try to, what do I want? Like and read the back of the movies. I wasted so much time there. Kind of like on Tubi now, where you just scroll through the movies on Tubi.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was never a Blockbuster guy. I had like Excalibur Video.
Oh yeah, those are
mom
even
and pop ones.
yeah, those are even better.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, that's the end of the show. Thank you guys for coming on. I know it's especially for Johnny, I was super late, but
yeah,
I just want to I want to give you guys an opportunity to plug your stuff, let the people know where they can find you. So Johnny O, start us off.
Right now, I only have the Twitter with at DAH Smash. It's double X handle Smash is my podcast. I'm on Spotify. I'm on Apple. I'm on Google. I'm on anywhere. I'm on Amazon. Anywhere you can get your downloads for your podcasts. I haven't had a new episode in a while, but I'm trying to change that. So
yeah, look out for that Tito Santana.
Oh yeah, I can't wait. Yeah, I can't wait for
that. Omega, tell the people where they can find you on the social medias on YouTube.
Sure. At Omega Ace Gaming on YouTube. At Omega Ace 1313 on Twitter. And I'm also on Instagram. I don't recall what the handle is, but I'm pretty sure it's something along those lines.
Yeah, and Omega streams every Tuesday and every Friday on YouTube.
Yep, it's mostly Tuesdays and Fridays. If you're into retro games, that's the place to be. There are a lot of other great YouTubers hang out there with me, so you'll find everybody there.
Yeah, Omega's got a strong, solid community, like good people.
Dude, yeah, I felt like I just met Omega. I met you like in December.
Yeah,
and
recently.
I was like, man, I didn't know there was the gaming community on YouTube, and the guy kind of adopted into it, and everyone's cool, everyone's nice, no drama, no drama.
No drama. Stay out of it, and it'll stay out of you.
Yeah.
Tylord, tell the people where they can find you.
I'm not super active on media, but you can find me on YouTube at Tylord Stevenson, or on Instagram. I think I'm Tylord79 if you want to talk to me about wrestling or video games or James Bond movies or Jaws movies. Yeah.
Or you can find them at the local Rasputins.
Oh yeah, I'm there every day. I didn't show you my pickups today, huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah, he does pickup videos on YouTube. Usually drops them on. Usually drop them on the weekend.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Usually, I didn't do one today, but
yeah. As for me, and before I mention my stuff, I'll put links to all their stuff on the. If you're listening on the audio end, I'll put the links in the show notes of this episode. If you're watching on YouTube, I'll put links in the description. As for me, I'm RetroTiburon on all the social medias. On YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, MySpace, everything. I'm RetroTiburon. What else? I have a website, RetroTiburon.com, where you can find all the episodes. There's some merch now, some shirts, some mugs.
Nice.
Like I mentioned before, a male thong. If you want to buy a male thong for yourself, no judgment there. Yeah, but that's pretty much it. Anyone got a quote or any final words before we head out?
I'll be back.
Oh, yeah.
All right, guys. See you guys on the other side.
Later,
See you guys. Nice meeting you guys.
Good meeting you too.
Likewise, take care.
Take care.
We're done.
Yeah.
Finished.
Now it feels like